Hello, welcome back. So, some changes, obviously. I don't have a mustache. I don't know what's going on, but guess I wasn't feeling it anymore. Kind of want a beard, but it's gotta wait. That's life, I guess. Here we are, though. Here's another change. I think we're getting rid of the crop topping with Caden. It was fun while it lasted, but kind of corny. If we're being completely honest, it's a little corny, right? So instead, you got coffee with Caden. Because how much you guys like my coffee and how much I love drinking coffee, might as well just have a cup of gel with me. Oh my goodness, Fox, go to bed. Why he was sleeping the whole time. And he just gotta wake up and just be noisy. It's ridiculous. Anyways, how are you? It's been a minute. I'm sorry. School's whooping my butt right now. Absolutely just spanking me, bending me over, and just brutalizing me, and I don't like it. Because I just want to be done. It's my last semester. You know what I mean? It's like you're at the finish line, but you're not quite there, and it's just you do one thing at a time and you just move on with life, and here I am just trying to move on with life. Anyways, so nothing special with my coffee today. Some dog hair like usual. Got my espresso maker out, made some coffee, right? I threw some plant-based chocolate milk in there, so I guess you could kind of consider this a mocha. I have not tried it yet because it is extremely hot, but I'm going to try it. In 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Not bad. Can't complain. For a normal little coffee, cannot complain about that. I could wake up and do that every day, I think. Not 100% sure if I'd want to, because I like my extravagant coffee. Just kidding. Lately, I've been going to the Human Bean. It's a little coffee shack or shop or whatever you want to call it, right around the corner from my house. Straight away from Starbucks. I think Human Beans, I mean, obviously it's a corporate, but it's a little bit like, I think, smaller owned. People there are nicer. The girls there are starting to know my freaking coffee that I want every day, which is nice because they typically try and get it out to me as quick as possible because I'm usually late and trying to go to work. So they're just, nice little people and always do the best. And it's pretty simple. It's just a coffee and some oat milk. I'm on an oat milk kick right now, and I absolutely love it. Oat milk has changed my life. If you guys do not like oat milk, you need to reevaluate your lives because oat milk literally has saved me. I do not drink any more dairy. I mean, there's obviously some things that have dairy in it that I still eat or drink, and I have minimized it to as much of an extent as I can. My cereal contains of oat milk, and that's what I like. I like oat milk. You should also like oat milk because it's healthy. Not a lot of soy in it. Like almond milk. If you're a guy, you do not want to be drinking almond milk all the time because it promotes estrogen, and then you get big old man titties. And unless you like that, no hate. No hate at all. Anyways, so yeah, we got rid of the crop top. Not really feeling it. I apologize. If you like it, maybe I'll throw it in every once in a while. But another thing is, once I start traveling, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to carry a crop top everywhere because I got to minimize as much shit as I'm packing because I'm going to be pretty much backpacking across the globe, so it's going to be a little difficult. But coffee with Caden can go anywhere, right? I can get a coffee anywhere. I can tell you how coffee is in Brazil. I can tell you how coffee is in France. I can tell you how coffee is in good old America right now. Yeehaw, brother. Anyways, so I got a cool little segment for you guys today. One of my friends, she came up with the idea. I was like, what should I do for a podcast? We're gonna be on a wild ride because some of these people wilding out. I posted on Twitter. I said, hey, if you would like to participate, basically in my podcast, send me a DM of your craziest or wildest sex stories. And you can already tell where this is going. You know what I mean? You got some wild people out there. As long as I keep it anonymous, they're pretty okay with sharing, and that's where I think things get a little funny and a little wild. I actually did this 2 years ago, but I told people, I was like, hey, send me your anonymous like sex stories and I'll like crop you out and post it. And oh my god, that blew up. I had like hundreds of people sending me their sex stories. Maybe I'll do that again on Twitter just because it's fun and whatever, and maybe you can tell me your sex stories. If you don't know my Twitter, it's at CADEN_TB. Go follow. Fuck it. I'm funny. I cry a little bit. I smile a little bit. But for the most part, it is what it is. So, what should I start with? Should I start with my sex story? Or should I start with everybody else's and leave the good part for the end? I think I'm gonna leave mine for the end just to kind of keep you watching, and because mine's hilarious. Honestly, like, I'm not saying that to try and keep you watching, because I think you should watch anyways. But mine is fucking hilarious, and it was weird, and it was wild, and a little bit of doggy style. If you know what I mean. It wasn't in the state I live in, or a state I've ever lived in, so that's kind of another cool little something. Anyways, I'm going to pull these up real quick. I got them on my phone. So no names. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I do want to share these stories because they're freaking hilarious. Yeah. Somebody else also was like, hey, what's the weirdest, like, I should do a segment. Maybe this will be next time. What's the weirdest thing you've ever done for, like, I guess money or OnlyFans, and we'll see where it goes. Anyways, here's the first guy or girl. Whoops. Actually, I don't care. I'm going to tell you if it's a guy or a girl, and that is what it is, all right? So this guy said, me and my best friend in high school had a big falling out, so I fucked his girlfriend, then ended up dating her for 6 months when they broke up, and then when me and his ex broke up, I fucked his brother 3 times, once in his bed. All right, well, you are an asshole, but it's funny, and I appreciate the honesty. Here we are. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, funny thing. Most of these came from Tinder sex stories. So if you ever want a wild experience, go to Tinder, because Tinder, I guess, is creating these wild sex rides, and have fun with that. All right, all power to you. No hate, no shame in the game. We love a good old little bow, bow, bow. You know what I mean? Just a little bow, bow, bow. Oh shit! I'm spilling things. Stop moving. Anyways, here we are. Here's the next one. I met this guy off Tinder, and he was going to come over to my house. I had work the next morning, so I told him I'd probably be asleep when he came over, but just to crawl in bed with me when he got to my house. I had started my period before he came over, and this man came over and insisted on having sex with, even though I was on my period. If a woman tells you no, just don't do it. Go home. If that's all you're there for is sex, go home. Tell her, like, hey, like, I was just wanting to fuck. So, go home. Don't be an asshole like this guy was. And if she says no, that's all you have to hear. Just move on, all right? Or stay and cuddle. You never know. Anyways, so she was on her period. I started my period before he came over, and this man came over and insisted on having sex with me, even though I was on my period. He wouldn't let me go take my tampon out. Instead, he started fucking me with my tampon in and shoved it so far up my coochie it got stuck. Couldn't get it out, so I had to go to the ER. Very embarrassing moment for me, and ever since then, I have never talked to that man again. Yeah, I think you should have had a little bit of like, hey, relax, dude. And if he was not relaxing like that, maybe you should have filed some charges against him, because it sounds like he was being a little too aggressive. And aggression is good in bed as long as there's consent. You silly gooses. All right, here we go. This girl says, for the podcast. That's what I'm talking about, baby. For the podcast. Do it for the Vine. Or the Coffee with Caden. So I don't know if you've heard of doTERRA. I have not. The essential oil company or not, but they make this stuff called Deep Blue, which is basically icy hot on steroids. Sounds interesting so far. Well, while I was pregnant, I wasn't getting as wet down there as I used to, so my ex thought it would be a great idea to use this said product as lube. He thought it was hilarious that I was crying on the bathroom floor to wash it out with no success because water makes this sensation more intense until his pee hole started to burn. I've never hated someone more in my life than I did in that moment. I think both of you guys are kind of dummies. But, like I said, creates a good story for me, right? So this is from a friend of mine. Not saying who. I don't know if I've ever mentioned him on this podcast. But hey, gotta love these stories, right? Anyways, sex stories. I had two sisters drop my mom's name during an argument that one of my sisters had started. Or, no. Let me restart. It was not his sister. Gross. I don't even think he has a sister. So I'm gonna reread this because we don't do incest. Anyways, I had these two sisters drop my mom's name during an argument that one of the sisters had started. My mom was sick with cancer at this point of my life, so I took it personal. I then fucked their mom a couple weeks later and recorded all of it. Honestly, all power to you, buddy, because if a woman ever did that to me, I'd probably impregnate her mom. So you have a little bit more control than I do, and like I said, great story. Love it. Thank you for that. Oh, this is a long one. She said, I got a funny one. And I said, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Ooh. Is it really going to be funny, though? You make the determination. So one time I was having a few drinks with some of my friends, and this shit goes straight to my vagina, so I was a bit horny. So I was on Bumble. I don't know if you know what Bumble is, but it's another form of Tinder. Like I said, all power to you guys. Get that thing, do your thing, and rock that dang-a-lang. Unless you're a girl, then rock your coochie thing. Whatever. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. I work outside, and the weather has not been in my favor. And Saturday whooped my ass, which was yesterday. Oh, happy Valentine's Day, even though you're probably going to see this on Monday, the 15th of February, because that's when I'm posting it. But I'm recording it on Valentine's Day, so this is funny to talk about, sex stories on Valentine's Day. So one time I was having a few drinks with some friends, and this shit goes straight to my vagina, so I was a bit horny. So I'm on Bumble because I'm banned from Tinder. Oh, well, I don't know what you did, but maybe you should just stay off dating apps. And there's this one guy that I had a few conversations with, and he told me to come over. I was like, all right, cool. So I go over, and we end up basically getting right into it. And it was one of those where you want it to be all over because it was just not good at all. But he was hella into it, saying hella weird shit. But then we finished, and I kind of I sit up in the bed, and he stands up naked and starts talking in a baby voice. And he says, he's soft now. Stop being soft. This was in a baby voice, so I don't really know how to do baby voice, so imagine that in a baby voice. While slapping his limp dick and like a real ass baby voice, and I'm just thinking, what the fuck? So I then laugh it off, and he says, watch this, and he does a handstand butt ass naked and starts walking on his hands. Like, what the fuck was happening? Then I was like, I gotta head out, and he starts talking in that baby voice again, asked me to never leave. Safe to say I blocked him. Good for you, because this dude sounds like a freak. Like I said, no hate, whatever. Ooh. Tinder, another Tinder story. Let's go. ASMR. Woo. So I don't know if this is funny, But at the time, it was hilarious. One time, this guy from Tinder, mistake number one. I don't know if it was a mistake. You were just, doing your thing, a little horny. I don't blame you. Do your thing, mama. Oh, this is a woman, by the way. Last one was also a woman. I think you probably got that. Invited me over to his house, which was a frat house. Mistake number two. I will agree with you on that one. That was definitely a mistake. He really wasn't all that my type. That doesn't make any sense. But I was like, what? I'm going to explore my options. Well, after a little while, we start making out. We still have all of our clothes on, and I have shorts on. He pulls me on top, and I kid you not, a couple minutes later, I feel something wet on my leg. It was not the dog licking her. There was no dog in the room, so there was no dog licking the back of her leg. And I knew it wasn't me yet. Laughed my ass off. Well, he starts turning all red and acting weird and confused at first, and I realized he came by. Came by me just being on top of him, making out for like 2 minutes. He went to the restroom and told me to wait there, thinking I didn't catch on, and I dipped, and we never talked again. Honestly, that's some queen behavior. If you can make a man nut in his pants without even doing anything, just a little dry hump, you're a queen, and that's some queen behavior. You should be proud of that shit. Own it. Good. Ooh. I have a story for your podcast, maybe. One time I tried to grab lube, but it wasn't in my nightstand. I ran across the room to grab my extra in this cabinet thing and accidentally hit a yodeling pickle with my finger. And we just sat there silently while it yodeled. Later, I think she also shat on my bed. What? How is it? What the fuck kind of story was that? He said the yodeling and then just to shit. She shitted? She shitted? Alright, whatever. On to the next. Wow, I had a decent amount of these. Okay, I think I'll have like 4 more. And then we'll go with mine. Ooh, this one's kind of small, but kind of a cool story because I think I said cool, weird, wild, whatever. Laughed my ass off. I can't believe I'm sending you this, but I had sex in a Versace changing room in Miami. Honestly, bucket list. I would like to do that. So if I can afford Versace, which I don't know if I'm really that materialistic, whatever, all power to you. I would fuck in a Versace bathroom or changing room just because, the excitement. Or a changing room in general. I don't care. Sounds kind of fun. Also, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. If you can see like a mask tan line, I apologize. I wear a mask all the time, outside, in the freaking sun. Just beats on my face, but I wear a mask like this, right? I wear a mask, and then it just gets me all sunburnt from here to here. And that's also why I'm wearing a hat. No curly hair for you today, because my forehead tan line looks ridiculous, and I kind of look like a raccoon when you have everything all bare and naked. Bare naked. Ooh. So I didn't want the whole timeline to see. Don't blame you. But I have a good one. This one was kind of funny. I remember this. I was seeing this firefighter, and he was totally not allowed. But one night he was on his shift, and he called me to come up there, and his whole crew was sleeping, and he snuck me into the station side bathroom, and we ... in there till he got a call in the middle of it, and him and his crew all left with the trucks and sirens, and I was just there all naked in the fire station bathroom. That's funny. Question though. Do you not have your clothes in the bathroom? Why were you sitting there naked? Why are you just naked? Put your clothes on and leave. Ain't nobody else around. Whatever. That's fun. It's an exciting story. Something you probably shouldn't tell your kids, but if you want to, they'll probably laugh later on in life. I don't know. I'm not a dad, so I don't know if I'll ever have to worry about telling people that. All right. So this woman's last message to me was, Tinder men can be a breed of their own. So this is going to be another Tinder story. One time I was going to hook up with this guy from Tinder that begged me to peg him, and I was 100% up for it until I got to his apartment, and the dildo in question was a cucumber, and the lube was cheap-ass conditioner. Sir, that's not pegging. You just putting some in your butt. All power to you. If you like it, you like it, But that's not pegging. You want a girl to peg you? Let her peg you properly. Please leave the nice vegetables and potentially fruits out of this. They did nothing to you, no harm to you or anybody else. You eat those, you don't put them in your body other than down your throat. And not like when you see those videos of the people deep throating bananas. Just eat the thing like a normal person. And if you're a man, eat your banana with nobody looking. You turn away, take a bite, come back. All right? Turn away, take a bite, come back. That's how you eat a banana. You don't want anybody attacking you. This one was kind of funny. It wasn't really funny. It's another gross one. I stuck it in this girl's butt, and she got up quick and ran to the bathroom, so I started smelling something, but I ignored it and tossed the blanket off the bed. And the next day, I had to go back to my friends and wash his blanket because there was a poo on it, size of a cow patty. Yeehaw, brother. Maybe you should just keep it out of her butt. Learn a lesson there, buddy? No? All right, whatever. Next time, right? All right. So, the one and only one who made this all happen, my friend, brother, sister from another mother, not related at all, not even the slightest. Technically, I've never met her. But here's her story, and I hope you're listening because your stories were funny. She has two, though. First one was a lot better than the second one. I gotta prepare for this one because this shit is too funny. Okay, first one is when I was 16. It was the second time ever giving someone head. Dun, dun, dun. You could probably see where this one's going. This was back when I didn't know about the gag reflexes. And this man shoved my head down so far, I actually threw up on his dick. Told you. I figured you'd know where it was going. It's exactly where it went. But it gets a little bit funnier. I didn't want him to know, obviously, so I just swallowed it back down and then kept going. Anyways, he told everyone at school I could do this really cool, sorry, my contact's messing with my eye, this really cool warm and wet thing with my mouth, and I had guys ask to give me head, give them head for it. I didn't know how to tell them that it was my goddamn dinner that was the super warm and wet thing. At least you swallowed it. I mean, if I was a man, I would probably be okay with just, cleaning it up and you not eating your puke. But you were 16, no hate. Second time for her was in college. I was hooking up with a dude. Halfway through, he started bawling. Like snot coming out, couldn't breathe type of crying. I was on top, so I awkwardly reached down to hold this man through his little crying spell. He really went from rough and nasty to bawling in 3 seconds. After he fell asleep, I got up, got dressed, and awkwardly left. He acted like it never happened after that. I had no idea what the fuck happened, and to this day, I still have no idea what made that man break down. You know what? Sometimes, us men, we cry. It's what we do, and it's our lives, We're just a bunch of cry babies. No? I don't think so. Hold on. I want to find the one, because this one was funny. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. 2 quote tweets. What? Aw. I think it disappeared. Damn it. Anyway, somebody sent me one. It was on the timeline, but it was fingering this girl, but I think it was after eating like something with jalapenos or fucking with cutting up jalapenos. Finger banged her, and well, the jalapenos kicked her ass. Let's just say that. Anyways, those were fun, very exciting, super interesting. The first time I ever did that on Twitter, it was a lot worse. These were pretty mild, but Mine, told you, save the best for last. Mine was a little wild. So it actually happened 2 years ago, roughly. I was in Hawaii in a hostel. Hawaii's a beautiful place. A lot of love in the air, right? No? Okay. So I met some people at the hostel. We were out there doing our thing, having fun, whatever. Went skinny dipping after the bar. That was fun, in the ocean, just skinny dipping. If you've never done it, don't do it. It's cold. And if you're trying to impress a woman, you're not going to if you're a man. But this girl, she's from Canada. She definitely vibing with me the whole night, doing her thing and being all flirty with me, touching up on me at the bar. And so we go outside and we go skinny dip, right? And she's crawling up on me, kissing me in the ocean, whatever, right? And then so we me and the other people, we all just got our stuff, went back, and then went back to the hostel, which was right down the street, because the hostel was right next to the ocean. Super cool place. If you have any questions about it, DM me on Twitter. I'll tell you all about it and where to go and how much it was. Whatever. It was fun, cheap, whatever. Met some cool people. That wasn't the bad part. That was fun. So she has my number. I think I may have given it to her at the bar or something. She has my number, and she texts me. And she's like, "Hey, can I come to your room?" Well, you're not supposed to have people come to your rooms in the hostels. I mean, it's a little frowned upon, because I don't know if you've ever been to a hostel, but it's kind of like a dorm room. You got, depending on the room, so there's the 4 bedrooms, or the 8 bedrooms, right? So the 4 bedrooms have a wall, and there's 2 beds on this side, and then basically another room, and 2 beds on that side, and the kitchen and the bathroom, whatever. So I was in one of the 4 bedrooms because she was in an 8, and she was just like, "Hey, there's a lot more people in mine than yours, so can I just come to yours?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, whatever." So we go, and she comes over, and I'm like, "Hey, maybe we should just take a shower," because it was away from the rooms, and we were trying to be quiet because there was other people in the room. Obviously, there was one person on my side of the room, and then one person on the other wall side, right? So we're doing our thing in the bathroom, and I think we took a shower together. Super romantic, I know. I'm just that kind of guy. But we, I didn't finish or anything. We just kind of hooked up a little bit, and then she decided to get dressed or whatever, and dry off, get dressed, and crawl into bed with me. I was like, all right, this is cool. Well, my bed is this way, long ways, and then there's a bed. So my bed's laying like this, and then there's another bed up against the wall right here going horizontally to my vertically, right? So she lays in my bed, and we're kind of being quiet, but squeaky ass, cheap ass beds aren't that quiet. And my roommate, I guess, must have woken up. I don't know how long this dude was woken up for, though. And that's what stressed me out a little bit, because we were going for a while before anything happened. And I was on top. I was a little tipsy, just doing my thing and vibing, right? And this man didn't speak very good English. I think he's some Asian country. I don't remember where he was from. Did not speak very good English, but he must have been staring for a while. And I'm naked on top of this woman, right? And this man literally is just sitting at the edge of his bed for a while, and then he goes to reach and pokes my butthole. Yeah, he poked my butthole. He didn't go in, just poked it, and I freaked the hell out, bad. At first, I was a little shocked because I was kind of drunk, and then I freaked out. I threw my sweatpants on, and I pushed this dude up against the wall. I freaked out, and then the girl's like telling me to chill out, and then the guy in the other room woke up, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And I just screamed at him. I was like, get the fuck back in your room. It's like, this doesn't pertain to you. And I'm like, I'm pissed, because I'm like, well, dude, you're like, regardless if, I mean, like, yeah, it's an open room, but like, you're not allowed to touch me. And that's why I freaked out. Like, if he was just watching, I'd have been like, man, whatever, you're a weirdo. But the fact that he touched me is when I freaked out. And then the girl, like, grabbed me and, like, tried to calm me down. And then I go out, and, like, we walk out of the room, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm sorry. I was, like, a little tipsy, but, like, also, like, hey, you know, what am I supposed to do? Just let somebody violate me? No. It's not the kind of guy I am, so it is what it is. Regardless, I calmed down, and then I went downstairs, and I immediately changed rooms, and I was in a different room that night. Cool story. Wasn't too bad. I had a great time the rest of the time he was there, or I was there. I think that dude may have only stayed, that was the last night he was there, because I don't think I ever saw him again. Hawaii was fun though. I had a lot of weird experiences. I had these two like older Asian women from Hawaii. I think they were locals. Try to take me home, and they were buying me drinks all night, but they bought me too many drinks. I got blacked the fuck out. They're probably 40, maybe 50, and I blacked the fuck out and walked back to the hostel. Don't remember that. And yeah, I could have had a threesome that night with them, and instead I walked home drunk. And then another time, I was hanging out with these girls I met the very first night I was in Hawaii, and they were like buying me drinks again, you know, just little young Caden doing his thing, vibing, whatever. And these women buy me drinks. One was a doctor, super nice. I still follow her on Instagram. Love ya. Actually, I follow the other one too. This little cute little short Mexican girl. She was a sweetheart. But that wasn't the bad part. I walked home. This wasn't a sex story. I walked back to the hostel, right? I turned on the wrong street. I was supposed to turn one street down farther. And there's this guy, local guy, in his truck, and he rolls the window down. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, just walking back to my hostel. I was like, I'm a little lost though. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you like to drink? I'm like, oh, I'm a little drunk right now, so what are you trying to say, right? And I'm just like, drunk, so I don't know what the hell's going on. And this is another reason why I don't drink, because blackout Caden, woohoo, fun. No, so I got super drunk, and this guy's like, hey, like, come have a couple drinks. And I'm like, all right, this is probably not a good idea, but I literally judged everything based off of how nice his truck was. And he had a very nice Toyota Tacoma. And I was like, he's probably not a killer. Like, killers have bad cars. And I hopped in his car. He drove around the island. I don't really remember it, but he drove around for a long-ass time. And to start off the night, shout out to the other girl from earlier, because he was like, it was like Jim Beam or something, and that was not what I was drinking that night. So like, it immediately hit me, and I like threw up. But like I said, nice Toyota Tacoma. I swallowed my puke, but he realized what I did, and he was like, hey, you just throw up? And I was like, well, yeah, but I swallowed it. And he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. He's like, nice. He's like, I'm gonna roll the window down though, because it looked like you were a little hot. And I was like, all right. So he rolled the window down. We're driving around the island, like whatever. And I passed out. I don't remember it, but I woke up to him like, hey, is it this turn? And it was like the sun was out. This was the night before I was supposed to leave. It's like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and he like starts turning down the hostel street, and he's like, it's down here, right? And I was like, yeah. And I could have been raped that night. I don't know. I was blacked out. So there's another cool story, I guess. Potential. Yeah, woke up and then don't remember walking back into my room, but I got back into my room. Luckily, my friend, shout out to you, D. I told him to make sure that I was awake because I had to get to my flight, and he woke me up, and I like was basically dead. then he basically dragged me out of bed because I kept falling asleep. And I woke up kind of just like lost in the sauce. I was late. So I just threw everything I had in my bags, took off, left. And I had a shuttle waiting for me because I paid for it like a couple days before, because like that's what the hostels do. They'll give you like a little shuttle thing, and it's a lot cheaper than Uber or whatever, right? This was not a shuttle. I had to pay like $80 for a freaking taxi to the airport, because the guy, I was like, hey, are you like my shuttle? And he was like, yeah. Obviously, he's a taxi guy. I'm still drunk, and I get to the airport, and I was fucking still like fucked up bad, and I had to pay like $80 for that stupid taxi. I don't even know if I had $80, but I think I had a credit card at the time, because the Hawaii trip kind of drained me. But hey, made some cool stories, and I loved all of it. So anyways, like, subscribe, comment, throw some comments on there, kind of boost my thing so other people can see it than just you guys, my fans, whatever. See if comment whether I should grow my mustache back out or not, because I kind of like it without. But hey, all power to all of us. Happy Valentine's Day, even though this is going to be uploaded tomorrow. Love you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Coffee with Caden. Goodbye.